everybody. It is June 7th, Friday, 2019, and I had a quick second and I wanted to say a couple things. I don't get many seconds to myself right now because I have because she's going to be 5. Her name is Stevie. She's going to be 5 this end of this month. But I wanted us to maybe think about something for a second that I had not come encounter with yet this far in my journey of 33 years on the earth. And that is, I've been experiencing a lot of powerful emotion and energy. And it can be scary, and there can be fear and anxiety. And I was wondering or contemplating or thinking, what am I afraid of? Number one. Asking questions. Jesus said, if you ask, you'll receive. So when we ask, we will receive. And we can ask questions and we'll receive answers. But one thing that I'm finding, and I was in the car and driving, and I was like, oh, I'm judging my emotions as either bad or good. And that's why I'm struggling, because with the powerful emotions that bring fear, the fear is coming because I have determined those emotions to be wrong or bad. And hence I don't allow them to come. I suppress them. But then whatever lesson or experience, or the more that you suppress something, the more it's going to continue to manifest that way. So I was like, wow, I never had thought that before, and I was like, oh, it dawned on me. And I was like, oh, we can't determine if we judge our emotions as being bad or wrong, and we continue to experience them, there's going to be anxiety, because we're experiencing something that is wrong, and therefore there must be something wrong with us, and we have no control over it. In fact, I've found that even good emotions, we shouldn't judge those either. Everything has purpose, so just finding what the purpose is in everything and not judging it. When we judge something, we're under the measure that we're judging, and that's awful. I'm thankful for freedom, and I'm thankful that I can ask and receive these answers and learn. But either way, there's been a lot of emotion, and a lot of them I've determined is wrong emotion or bad, so I just haven't dealt with it. I've ignored it, I'm not dealing with you. I'm not dealing with you. That one song that says that fear is a liar. Well, okay, but I found out myself once I allowed fear to really come and just totally and completely sat down with it, allowed it to come and be with me. I wanted to know what the fear was. I want to know it. The only way to overcome something is to know it. There is really nothing to be afraid of. And I was realizing that something that I was fearing was going to hell. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to be separated from God from all of eternity. And so I asked myself this question. I said, does God love the devil? Because see, I've done all the things that Satan's done. The idea of Satan or the doctrine of what Satan is to people. I've done some of the most awful things in my life. And so if the devil cannot obtain God's mercy, then I'm in really big trouble. But then, so I kept asking questions because I kept asking questions because I had to get to the root of what it is that is creating this fear. I had to get to the root, and I had to continue to ask questions so that I could get answers, so that I could be set free. And it's like so simple. It came to me the other day, and what does Jesus tell us specifically to do to our enemies? He says to love your enemies. And that's his power. That's the power, is love. That is our power, is love. Love your enemies. You can't have light with darkness. A house divided can't stand. You can't have, the light cannot exist without, there's polar opposites. So, anyways, Jesus said to love your enemy. So, would God not do what he says? He's not double-minded like us. He doesn't say one thing and then do a different thing. He does it, he says it and does it. When he said, let there be light, there was light. He doesn't say and then do something different. So, he loves the devil. God's very essence is love. His power is love. And I would imagine that although, I get angry. I get angry about things. Stuff irritates me. I get agitated. And, so, I know that I would imagine that God could get angry too. I don't know. I think so. But I also know about myself that once the anger comes, it doesn't stay forever. It just passes. So, anyways, just food for thought. But I'm learning about my emotions and not to judge them. If I judge them, I guess I never realized that I judged my emotions. I've judged people, all kind of stuff in my life. I've made all kind of judgments that have bound me up into bondage, but I never realized that I judged my emotions, and doing that caused me a lot of grief. So when a big emotion comes or something, it's okay, it's all right. I have to just be still and breathe for a minute. And there is power because I don't have to act on everything that comes, Sometimes I think it's like waves in vibrations, like in the ocean. When you're in the ocean, okay, and I have this vision of being in the ocean, and the waves are coming, and you're when the wave comes, you go up with it, but then you go back down. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time to ponder on that one. But anyways, if you are out there and you are experiencing big emotion and energy and feelings, and I started experiencing these types of things from a really young age, but just thought there was something wrong with me, so I shut it down. I'm not going to be, crazy or anything. But I really think that this energy that we receive and stuff has to do with spiritual gifts. And that's something that I'm learning about. And it's cool. It's not bad. We're all created with gifts, and we're all created different. And not one of us is the same. And I'm excited to find out about myself. I'm excited to see who it is that I came to this earth to be. And there's not another person like me on the face of the earth. And that's exciting to me. And it should be exciting to you too, because there's nobody like you on the face of the earth. Even though we're all similar. We're all family. All the colors, all the races. We're all family. We're all having a human experience here. But either way, I just wanted to give some encouragement, because I know that fear is scary. Anxiety is scary. When you're in it, it's scary. I mean, I've had crippling fear and before, and really, but once I allowed it to come and just started working through it and taking my time and just spending time with it. What is this fear that I fear? Come sit at my table and let's sit down and talk. I want to ask questions. Not like I'm really asking it the question, but what I mean is I'm just asking questions of what am I afraid of? What really am I afraid of? And when you realize that there is nothing to be afraid of, and you overcome and you tackle that fear and you put it to death, or you just put the idea of it, you pick it out of your garden in your heart and you burn it up, then you're free. That fear can no longer carry you around, or bother you, because you've dealt with it. You resolved the issue. You realized that the emotion was coming because there was some maybe wrong beliefs or ideas that needed to be dealt with that had gotten in here and stayed in here. But anyways, I just want to give some encouragement, because I know not everybody talks about it. Not everybody talks about what we're going through. A lot of people are afraid. They don't want people to think they're crazy by talking about. These are things that we all experience, and I think it's good if we talk about them, because we can work on it together. Each of our gifts is actually created and made to help inspire others around us. And I mean, collectively, gifts working together is even more awesome, and I think is the way it's intended to be.